Good morning. It is Friday and it is the Golf Pro Drive-In. It's kind of a gloomy Friday morning here in Virginia, but we got some nice sunny weather coming our way. Looks like the weekend's going to be pretty good. Going to have some golf. I'm getting ready to go on a trip, play the National Pro-Am at Kiel Resort. We're going to leave Sunday morning for that. Can't wait for that. Taking a team from my club. And hopefully we can improve on what we've done in past years. We're really good at finishing around top 15 in the net score. Pretty decent at finishing top around the same place gross, maybe a few spots farther down the list. And then I'm normally somewhere in the top 30 professionals, and I need to improve on that. I did finish 7th in my first year, so hopefully we can do a little bit better. And that kind of brings me into what we're going to talk about today, which is failing so that we can succeed. And I'm going to start out with a quick story. Just recently got my kids the game Connect 4. Fun little game. Taught it to my son. But I have a 3-year-old daughter as well, and she loves to play the game. Doesn't really understand the rules. So one night before dinner or after dinner, they come into the playroom, and they have Connect 4, and they're ready to play the game. And my son is going to play against my 3-year-old daughter. And so as they're setting the game up, I tell my son, now listen, she doesn't really understand the rules of this game. So, if she's not playing quite fairly or not doing something quite right, don't get upset about it. Just play the game and, just have a good time and let her have fun and make her feel like she's probably winning. And my son says, no, Dad, I have to beat her. And I'm like, well, you don't. You just let her play. He's like, no. How is she ever going to learn how to play the game if I don't beat her? It's going to help her figure out how to play it correctly. And so I just sat back in my seat and I'm like, well, there's a lot of truth in that. We have to, I'm not saying we have to learn how to fail to succeed, but I will say that through our failures, we learn how to succeed. I don't really know how much stuff we're learning or in the golf world in terms of instruction. A lot of the concepts and the ideas and the things that I teach or that I've been taught, more importantly, that I've been taught over the years, a lot of that is results of other instructors many years before me coming along and trying something that just didn't work. And then, okay, I see what I need to do here. I need to refine this in this way or that way to be able to get the result. So there's a lot to that in instruction that ultimately spills out into the player of trying this and trying that until eventually you find something that works. And you might find something that works for a short period of time and then you have to modify that. So instruction or success is always kind of an evolving wheel that cycles through and cycles around and everything else. But for us to be able to get the most out of our game and the most out of our performance, we have to understand that our failures are going to help us ultimately to succeed. And so one thing that I harp on my juniors or people that I coach, I'm like, I don't mind you experimenting to some degree. I don't want you to go crazy with it because I don't want that to be something you do all the time. But I want you to go out there and give it your best. And if you fail, then you fail. But you're going to learn a lot from that. There's a book that I've read by Bobby Jones. He wrote this book while he was winning, or the book has been written about him or with him while he was winning all of his majors, while he was winning the Grand Slam. And he says in there, I learned nothing by winning. I've never learned anything by winning. It's never put me in any circumstance where I learned something from that while I was winning. Meaning he learned a great deal while he was losing. or he learned a great deal whenever he was in difficult positions, challenging positions where he had to dig himself out, or he had to do something different to figure out how to be successful. So, the moral to this story today, at least for this section, is failure will help you to succeed. So don't be afraid of failing. It is a golden ticket to success. A lot of people who fail over and over and over again just don't stick with it long enough to see the success on the other side. So does that mean that we shouldn't harp on winning and all that? I think we should. Here's why. Especially for kids. We want kids to have fun. I want kids to have fun. I want everybody to have fun in everything that they do in golf or in sports or whatever. But don't be fooled in thinking that just going out and playing a sport and being with your friends is fun. Fun is whenever you're winning and you're succeeding. And let's be real about that. Can you have fun and not play well or whatever? Sure you can. But those people who have fun playing golf and who are lousy at it, let them shoot their career best score and see how they feel. Even if they've never broken 100 before, which I would say is, that's about the average golfer or whatever. But when you're a good player, a scratch player, you look at somebody that can barely break 100 and say, well, they're not very good. Okay, well, let that person break 100 for the first time. They're ecstatic. I mean, they've just had the time of their life. It's the greatest round of golf that they've ever played. They're super thrilled about that. Why? Because they succeeded. Now, their goal bar might have been moved differently than someone else's, but for them, that is victory. And that victory, that's a positive moment in their life. So how do you think they'd feel if they broke 90 or if they broke 80 for the first time? They're going to be through the roof with joy and excitement, because deep down, winning, that's what really makes things fun. So as you fail time and time again, learning to succeed, learning to do things better, learning to play better or perform better, as you do those things, you're putting yourself in a better position to succeed in the future. And when you have success, you have more fun. So failure is a pathway to success or a pathway to victory. And everybody knows that winning is the most fun. I hope everybody has a great week. I will see you again next week after the National Pro-Am at Kiowa, and hopefully we'll have some good news and some good updates to review that on. But y'all have a great week. Use your failures to help you succeed, and enjoy those successes along the way. It's a lot more fun.
It's a Golf Pro Drive.